Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a football.
Almost.
I mean, it does like a little football. I could throw it like a football.
Well, let's not, because we'd have to go hunt it.
Yeah, we'd have to go hunt it up.
Oh, look at that. I don't know what that... Several smaller ones.
Yeah, you have them little big ones like that, that mother potato. That's what you end up with. Ah, I get this cleaned up a little bit.
Oh, there's another one.
Look at that. Nice. Not no big ones right there though. Good cow potatoes there.
Good.
French fry there. There's a big potato on there somewhere. I can just sense it. Just gotta get to where it's at. Yep. Nice ones there. Come back and get them for the cows. Guys, I come over here and I had a little piece of a row I wanted to get started on. This actually is 4 plants now. We started off with 3, but wanted to film me digging one more. That was 4 plants. Now I want you to look at some of these potatoes. You can't beat that. I mean, look at that. Those things are 12 or 14 inches long. I mean, beautiful potatoes. I mean, you just, I call them my daddy potatoes, because that's the kind of potatoes my daddy raised when I was a kid. Look at that. That is fine right there now. There's several quart jars just right here. You look at that. The thing's big. My hand won't even reach around them. They're so big. And that's just 4 plants. And we've got all the rest of this to go. So it looks like we're gonna have one heck of a harvest this year. Keep watching. We'll keep throwing up a few clips every so often, because we're not gonna dig this in no 1 or 2 days. This is gonna be over weeks of digging this. And right now, I don't even know where we're gonna put them. We've already got, I think, close to 15 buckets dug. And this just made number 16 and a half right here. So looking at the garden, plus the white sweet potatoes over yonder, probably got another 50 buckets to go. A lot of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes. 4 years ago, I wrote a manual on sweet potatoes. I started seeing people, they were putting sweet potatoes in jars of water and all this kind of stuff, trying to grow slips, and they were just having fits and it wasn't working out. They were having to change the water. The water stunk. When they did get the little slips, then they had to take them off of there and put them in water to make them sprout. And I said, you know, this ain't right. This is not the way God done it. Potatoes weren't intended to be put in water. Now, it will work, but you really don't get any kind of a return off of it. You take a potato like one of these right here, and you put that rascal in the dirt, whether it's in a potted container or what, and you'll have sweet potato slips that last all summer. It'll make slips all summer long. It'll make more than what you're going to use in a small area, I'll tell you that, because that's just the way it's intended to be. All right, any of y'all who've watched this for any length of time knows I'm at my, we call it a hotbed, or a, you know, whatever you want to call it. Cold frame, what some people call it. I had 2 sections here. If you go back and look at my videos, I planted red sweet potatoes over here on this side. I planted white sweet potatoes on this side for the slips. Let me tell you something. Out of these 2, this is a 4x4 and this is a 4x4 area. Out of these 2 beds, I have harvested and got rid of over 1,000 slips. And I just quit. We didn't have any room to plant anymore. I gave them away, I sold them, everything else, guys, and I want you to look. They still keep coming. That's what I was talking about putting sweet potatoes in the dirt. This is the way to grow sweet potato slips. A 4 foot by 4 foot area times 2, which is a 4 by 8, has produced over 1,000 slips, and it's still loaded. So guys, this is the way it's done. And in my manual, I explain everything from the potato to the slip, to how to plant it, to how to harvest it, everything about sweet potatoes, even a few recipes. Guys, I have sold thousands of these manuals to people, and they always write back and tell me, oh my gosh, if I had only had this earlier in my life. Guys, go over on our Etsy store at deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com and check out the sweet potato manual. And while you're there, I also wrote one on English peas that has been a big time seller. So guys, the information's there if you really want it. Go check it out. Sweet potato manual, English pea manual, or 2 of them that I've wrote so far, and they have really turned out to be beneficial to a lot of people. One of the things I want to explain about sweet potatoes is soil type. Now, sweet potatoes love sandy soil, but they also need rich, nutrient-dense sandy soil. As you've seen in the previous part of the video, we were digging in where the dirt was really good in the upper part of the garden, and I dug 4 plants and got a 5-gallon bucket and a half of another 5-gallon bucket off of 4 plants. Down here on the lower end of our garden, this is all sand and rocks down here. We've already gone probably 40 feet here, 30 to 40 feet, and we hadn't even filled the bucket up yet. Now, it's nice potatoes, you know, but they're just not like they were in the rich soil. And plus down here, this is what you run into if you leave them too long. The little ones have started sprouting to make new slips to replant. And that's why I always tell you guys, when you're planting sweet potatoes for slips, you don't want to use these big old ones like this. Here's what you want right here. You want to use these medium-sized ones like this right here. These will root faster and grow faster than these will. Now, these have a lot more body left to them, and they'll last a lot longer in the ground. But guys, if you don't have many sweet potatoes and you're looking for something for slips for next year, keep the little ones. The big ones, just eat them, because these do a lot better job. Now, this one more than likely got broken away from the vine somehow or other when I come through here with a lawnmower or whatever. The vine pulled and broke off of it, because this is a vine potato. And what happened is, when the potato was left in the ground, it done what potatoes are supposed to do. It started reproducing new slips. I mean, this is how it's done. This is not in water. This was down in the dirt, and that's how sweet potatoes are grown, is in the dirt, not in water. So let that be a lesson to you. This is what it looks like when you get one out of the ground that's started forming new sweet potato slips. These little long shoots you see coming up right here will come up out of the ground, and they will turn green and have pretty green leaves on top of them and everything, and they'll begin to put off roots right here at the bottom of each one of them, and their roots will continue all the way up. However deep it is in the ground, they'll form roots. Now, if this potato is left on these, this will not grow potatoes. These vines will do nothing more than feed off of this potato. What you want to do is, when they make a slip, is to break them off like that when they got roots all on them, and plant this, not this. This is what will grow your potatoes, not this.